no, don't. No, don't. Hi, my name is Herschler Raymond, and I'm the editor-in-chief of the Florida Crimson, and I will be moderating these debates tonight. Debating are just the treasurer candidates because the other presidential candidate is not present, and Jess Cushman is running unopposed, but they will still be speaking briefly. So, Jess, can you? These are the presidential candidates. He is not here, and the other one is Carla. Next slide. The primary duties of the student body president is to foster a deep commitment to and actively represent each student government purposes defined in the student government constitution. You all can read. Next slide. And Jess Cushman is running unopposed for vice president. The vice president of the student government will performs and assists the president with the duties of the office and presides over the Senate meetings. And the treasurer of the student government will be responsible for the administration, execution of all student government funds and report status and finances every meeting. So, debate rules. Candidates will have 2 minutes to respond to the first prepared question, which they know because it's prepared. And then 1 minute for each additional question. Candidates may request rebuttal time in 30-second intervals, which may be granted or denied at the discretion of the moderator, which is me. I'll probably grant it. Approximately 25 minutes will be allotted to each of the 2 debates. So, since the other presidential candidate is not here, Carla is just going to begin with her 2-minute statement, which is why should she be SGA president over the other candidate? So, if you'd like to begin. Yes.
Okay. Well, this is weird. I'm not gonna lie. But so yeah, we're supposed to prepare for this. Are you counting already, right? Okay, we're supposed to prepare for like why you're the best candidate. The other guy's not here, but well, since last year, I think we all seen that student government's grown almost double. We've increased a lot of things, mostly student participation. And to be honest, increasing student government is something that I want to keep. And when I say increasing, it doesn't mean like a number. I mean, yes, but what I want to transmit this year, this upcoming year, is like, this year is everybody. I want to bring like the whole students to feel part of student government because you are. Student government is the student body. So that's one of the main things that I have as an objective for next year. The other thing, I would like your support to keep doing what I'm doing. I've created like great channels between the student body and the administration. We have been heard this past year, and I want to keep doing that. Probably my role is not a very direct to students role because I deal a lot with administration. However, we've seen a lot of fruits from there. We're working on the renovation of the whole residential quad, and we also started working with QEP, which all of you are familiar with that. I think that that is a great achievement for next year, since like we are directly working with the administration on making sure our voice is heard for the new reaccreditation of the school. So that's just a few things that I have. And to be honest, I just want to keep creating this amazing team that I have here. Like, it was great to work with them, and I just want to keep doing it with the new senators. And I feel capable of, like, I know what student government is. I know what the role is. I know the time commitment. I know every time commitment the position already has. So, I mean, I don't have much words, but yeah, I think I'm a very, let's use diverse, since diverse is like in these days person. I want to make sure that I represent everybody. And I want you to feel approachable. Oh, cool, stop, I can talk about it. So.
All right, hey guys, I guess you guys should probably re-elect me because I'm a pretty good candidate. I've done a lot this past year, and I want to really keep going and helping you guys all really experience your student experience. What have we done? We added freshman senators to the organization where we previously didn't have a freshman representation, which is huge because that's a quarter of our population, I guess, yeah? Bio majors, population, works. It's a quarter of us, so that was big. We also added to the bike program, restructured it a little bit, got you guys more bikes more quickly. Currently, most recently, we're working on housing options, and the Quality of Life Committee approached us and they said, hey, our housing may not be the best it could be. How does student government think we can improve that? So we came to the Senate, then we came to all of you, and we all agreed that traditional housing that's a little bit cheaper would probably be the best route. A couple of us really wanted plants, so we told them that. We had a meeting with food services. We got root beer in the vending machines and chocolate milk, so that's great. Pretty much, I'm not going to waste your guys' time. I think I'm a really great candidate. I hope you guys do too. I've done a lot for you. We've done a lot together, and I just want to keep growing as student government and as the student body of Florida Tech. All right.
Hello, I'm Carly. I believe that I'm the best candidate for this position because I have been committed to everything I've done. I'm currently an SGA senator, and since I have joined, I've been to every event that student government has had. And in addition to that, right now, although Greek life is important at this school, 60% of our current government is Greek, and only 12% of our school is actually Greek. So if I'm elected, I will be able to provide, I will represent the students at this school that are not Greek, whose voices might not otherwise be heard. Sorry. Also, as a treasurer, as a senator, I have had the chance to get insight already into the process that government does, what we get hung up on and what we're working on. And I also have had the chance to understand what the position of the treasurer is. In addition to that, I also created my own club, and I have an understanding of what it's like to be what it's like to apply for money from your point of view. So when I first started the club, it seemed really confusing to me. Like, there were all these rules about when I could apply and how I should apply. And as treasurer, I would like to streamline this process so everyone understands it, and not only understand how to get the money, but that the money is your money and everyone should have access to it. So I hope I can help.
Okay, hi, I'm Petra, and why I'm the best candidate for treasurer is probably because as soon as I came to Florida Tech, which was last year, I got involved on campus and I was elected in my organization to be financial vice president, which is basically the same thing. So I was in charge of the budget. I had to create the budget and make sure all the departments that get money from the budget stay on the budget and don't spend more funds that they have available. And also, before I came to Florida Tech, I majored in business and administration, which a part of it was accounting, so that's also like ties together with that. And right now I'm majoring in industrial psychology, which again has to do with business. And I'm very responsible and organized person. Thank you.
Hello friends, my name is Benoy Shah. Again, introducing myself, I'm a junior in chemical engineering. So what makes me apart from other candidates? Tough question, right? Well, I had to think about it, and it took me a little bit of time. And I would like to say the main thing that gets me different from other candidates is what I do what I say, and I say what I do. So let me just do the doing today. Let me just do the saying today, and I will do if my fellow you guys vote for me and I run for treasurer position. I have some plans for the campus, some of which I want a change page where students can approach the student government, and it becomes very easy where everyone can post, and we definitely want to change the school in certain ways. So I want to make it easy for everyone to apply for money, change the school in ways they want. I want to have several other problems for the school, like I've experienced, and well as some other candidates, which are make trolleys from here to Orlando Airport, because some of us travel and international, we come here to school. So sometimes that becomes a problem for us to come here. And other thing I want to change on campus is I want to make a platform where I can connect the alumni, students, the community, and everyone who's related to FIT and be known as Panthers. So everyone can attend our events and it can be a good success and we can raise enough money for a treasurer position. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Gina. I'm of course a forensic psychology major, is also a junior here, but what can I do for you? Main point, it's about money and it's about funding. How can we fundraise? How can we budget properly? How can we make sure that we're working for you and what we're doing for Student Government Association? It's not just about student government, it's about everything else in the community. How can we actually how can we initiate in the community as well to get more students here at our school? Not only are we in the top 10 of the nation, we're also part of a lot of other affiliations as well too. We also work with Greek Life. I'm still getting acclimated with the Greek Life and what it's about and some of the clubs and what everything else has to come included with it. Budgeting is important when it comes to student government, and you need to understand how it works and whatnot. With my financial background of 5 years of banking, I know how to make sure everything's in balance and make sure that spreadsheets are up to par with funding. Every single meeting is met and adjourned. Also, what I can do for you is make sure you put a smile on your face every time spending is forgive me. Every time that spending is met, we can actually go through each comb if needed and make sure the records are accurate and precise. Just remember that I work for you, and that's the way I see things with Student Government Association with prior background in forensic psychology and also banking. So remember that. Thank you.
Have you had any other treasurer or budgeting experience before? If not, what experiences have you had to prepare to handle money in an organization like SGA?
All right. Well, as I said, I started my own club a year ago, and because it was a new club, I didn't have a treasurer. I ran the position of president and treasurer, and so I do have experience from that point of view. I also have experience as a senator, as I said. In addition to that, I am a math major, and while I realize that there's no difficult math within being a treasurer. It does, to me, require the same thought process that a math major gets from my classes. So I spend most of my time organizing and analyzing data, and I think that that's about the same skills that a treasurer needs. So, thank you.
So like I said in my speech, I did have experience last year when I was financial vice president in my organization, and I feel like that prepared me for this position a lot. And yeah, I think I said everything in my speech, so yeah.
Okay, friends, so I would like to tell you I'm currently the treasurer for AICHE, which I just got a position, and I've had experience with asking money, and basically I think what a treasurer does is collect money and count money and give money. That's what I think, even in simple terms, these three terms, if a person can do that efficiently, and I'm pretty sure I can do that because it's pretty easy, we all learn it since probably we're 7 years old, and I think that would make me a good candidate.
I have had some previous experience with student government from my alumni, as an alumni from my previous college. So I am familiar with kind of how budgeting works and whatnot. Also, as I previously said, that I was in banking for 5 years, and accuracy is a must when it comes to balancing a drawer. That also carries on into normal life and civilian life as well too. So you kind of can understand how everything works in regards to treasurer. That's really all I have to say. You guys heard pretty much about my speech, so.
Next question, Sandra. Do you feel the SGA Executive Board makes decisions that benefit the student body as a whole? Why or why not?
I feel like they do. And I think all the decisions they make, they are trying to make the decisions that will benefit all the students at this school, not just like one club or one organization. So I think they're doing a good job with that.
All right. Well, to me, I think that the exec's position is not to make decisions for the school, but rather to sway the Senate to vote for what we think the school needs. And so I think that I will represent the school because I will hear other students' opinions and gather these to help represent you.
So I definitely agree with both my fellow candidates, and I definitely say what they think is right. I would like to add on by saying that the senators are definitely playing a big role in representing the student body and not the executive positions. The senators bring their choices depending on what they heard from back from the students to the exec, and the exec positions, they communicate to the administration and make sure that the students' problems are solved. So I think they're doing a good job in handling with the administration, and the senators are doing an amazing job getting the difficulties of the students to the student government.
I definitely think that the executive board is very good at making the decisions for the students and for the administration and the liaison in between. It's really important to understand what the students do and how they do it, along with communicating effectively and efficiently when it comes to the administration as well. It's really important that basically student government makes a whole for everybody, and including the students, administration, and anybody else who visits this campus, and understands that student government works for you. That's how I see that. So, thank you.
As treasurer of SJA, you will be in charge of the Student Activities Funding Committee, which funds student activities that comply with Florida Tech standards. As head of SCFC, how will you ensure that funds are fairly and properly allocated to student organizations across campus?
Okay, so first thing, after you read the rules and conditions of SAFC, you have to know that there are certain rules that certain money can be allocated to conferences and certain money can be allocated to different things. So making sure that that is kept in mind, I will allocate depending on the need and how the organization is representing the school. Like if it's participating in a competition or a research, or if it's doing something that's going to benefit a school a lot and they require a lot of money for that, I will definitely give the money according to the needs of the organization. Thank you.
Well, I think communication is the most important thing. So I think I will definitely make sure that not only do you get the money for your event, but you're aware of all of the events that are going on campus. So right now we're working to we have a calendar in the sub, some of you may not have seen it, but starting next year we're going to make it a rule that all clubs that are getting money for an event have to put that event on the calendar. I also think it's really important that SAFC better understands your club. So I would like to have student government representatives be attending more meetings in all areas so that we can understand better, not just see what you want on a piece of paper and either accept or deny you. I think it should be more of a whole process. So I think that will help make sure everyone gets the equal money.
I think that it's really important to always understand what policy and regulations are, first off. If you don't understand those, you don't understand how to budget effectively and promptly. Also, on top of it, we need to actually take votes in regards to budgeting and how we need to fund certain programs, because some things could have a little bit more effective with the student body and also with the school itself. And also on top of it, it could be beneficial if we use some funds for certain things, but also reserve some of those other funds for trips and explorations with other allocations to budgeting. Student government doesn't just work as one, it works as a whole, as we all know that, and understanding the policies and procedures that come with that is really important, and you need to understand the same thing so we can all work together as a team, because that's what it makes. Thank you.
So I would make sure that each organization knows the rules that has to be followed before they can actually receive funding. And as a person, I'm not involved in any of the organizations that actually receive funding, so I can say that I am not biased against any of the organizations. So I can actually like distribute the funds equally to every single organization. Thank you.
Last question. What is your favorite skill or trait that you possess, and how will you use it to further SGA?
I would have to say my favorite trait is giving back to the community. It's really important to understand how volunteer works. It's really important to understand how students work and how effective leadership is also in that. Having prior experience with student government and association and understanding how the people work and the student works as well too, we have to all work together to understand how the funds work, how policies work, how communication is effective, and also how we can put forth the effort in regards to that one step at a time. And you never take 2 steps ahead. You always, one step, baby steps, and then like how we always say it, crawl, walk, run. Thank you.
Okay, so my favorite skill and trait, I think, that would be leadership. I've always had leadership skills on campus. I've been in a community where I had developed a leadership development learning community and been a part of that, which was supported by the Dean of Students. I've held several leadership positions on campus, but keeping that aside, I would like to say that how will it benefit SGA? I'm already part of SGA in the past 2 years, and it has benefited SGA definitely, but how will it further benefit SGA? As a treasurer, I would say I would not be biased, and leadership qualities definitely benefit. My plan is to have alumni, students, and a community be together and known as Panthers, and which will help our school become a pretty well-known college, and it'll better our ranking too. That's what I think.
So for me, it's probably the fact that I'm very, very organized, even though it's probably not the best trait to have, but it is true. I have like 4 planners and calendars that I use, and I think it can benefit me in this position. And I like to follow rules and deadlines, and I like to make like plans for myself, what to do today, this week, this month, and follow that. So I think that can benefit me in this position too. Thank you.
Hi. I think that my best trait would be that I like to try new things. So I think a lot of times you hear in government that we don't want to change that because that's how we've always done it. And I definitely will not be afraid to at least put the idea out there and discuss any new idea, because I think there's always room for change.
Does anyone have any questions for the candidates? Please start.
So, I'm actually, first off, you didn't really, in your description, the fact that SAFC is so important. So,
well, SAFC is very important, everyone.
So I'm not going to put you guys on SAFC stuff. I'd like to know what you guys think is wrong with how SGA has allocated funds. Now, granted, I'm saying this hypothetically. Any project is going to not support all its stakeholders. So, what's wrong with how we've allocated our funds, and also how would you change that? How do you want your budget next year to look if you get elected?
If I had to have my budget, I mean, I'm new at this, my first time, and here for our SGA, of course. How I'd want it organized. I want it precise. I want deadlines done. I want to make sure that we know our contacts and how they need to be structured in a timely manner. They need to be done, we need to get follow-ups on a weekly basis and see where we're tracking with everything. In other words, understanding what the procedures are with each one of them. That's what I would say.
Okay. I'd like to keep it short in one word. I would like to say, let's keep it structured so that everyone knows the process and it's easy.
So like I said before, I would make sure everyone knows the rules that they have to follow, and if someone's application gets denied, it's explained to them why it was denied, and it's like reasonable.
All right. Well, as I've said many times, I think we should make it communicated to everyone what the process is, so they don't think we're just accepting or denying just because. And I think that the budget should also be public, so that you guys know where your money is going.
Maddie, the current treasurer, has offered to pull up the budget if you guys would like to see it.
Please.
Yeah, you guys want to look at it from the side?
Yes, please.
Anything that you would like to change?
So then, yeah, I'd like a follow-up where after they've seen the budget, how they would like to reallocate.
You're talking about the SGA budget or the SAFC?
The SGA budget.
Okay.
Okay, so on the left is the actual planned budget, estimated, and then, okay, and then towards the right is the current live budget. As you can see, this is what has been spent, this is what is left over or in the negatives, and vice versa for this side. So we are currently in the spring, and this is our balance now. So, yeah, I didn't have this before I was here, so this is all for you next time. It's already made pretty nicely, and it's really good to look at, in my opinion. But my opinion isn't always what everyone else thinks. Like, I'm an extremely organized person. That doesn't mean that your organization is the same as mine. So it's up to all of you.
So my follow-up is, how would you change those allocations?
If I had to change the allocations, I mean, I would actually take a survey from the most critical people on what is important. First off, like, what is the most important thing? What is the second most important, and what is the third most important? If I had to structure it that way, I mean, you know, you have to look at. First off, we already know go Panthers. Okay, we know that. We know that. Football is number one, you know, baseball and all the fun stuff. And then also, what about the other stuff too that is lingering out there? You know, what type of clubs do we have going on? Also, you know, there's so many other programs that we need to look at to figure out what is the primary issue of what we need to allocate all our funds to, and how organized can we keep that. You know, we're not really working with that much is what it looks like. So, I mean that. You just have to take a survey and see where we stand in regards to everything. Hi.
Can you clarify that this is only SGA? Okay. So like, yeah, you're gonna have a lot as SGA, but you're also gonna be handling like the big budget. She's gonna show it to you.
Please.
It's a much bigger budget than
Okay.
And the other one I showed before was the big budget. Or this is the big budget. Whoa, what did I just see?
Okay.
Okay. So this is what we still have left. No, that's what we started with, and this is what we have left over.
Okay.
Little stats here, and this shows what was approved and what was denied for spring and for fall. So.
I mean, I would still keep it the same. You know, I would still, you know, figure out what's the most important, what's the second most important, what's the third most important, and then we can kind of structure it from there. Is how I would see that. You're welcome.
So my response would be, why would we change it? Like, is there a need to change it? Like, do we think that something is wrong with this budget? Like, I would have to like actually sit down and look at it closely and see if one of the categories is wrong, or if there's like not enough money in this category and way more than it's needed in other one, or if it's this budget, it's actually a good one. But it's really hard to like say right now, like, oh, this is wrong and we need to change it. So it takes time. But I feel like with the SGA budget, you can maybe, what I did in my organization, we actually implemented this pre-approval form that everyone has to like fill out before they actually go and spend the money. And so they're not just reimbursed because they went and spent the money. We actually know before that they're going to spend, let's say, $20, and they only have 10, so we can tell them, oh, you only have $10 to spend, so you're not going to be reimbursed for $20. So think about it, and you cannot spend that much money. And if they don't fill out the form and they spend the money, they're not going to be reimbursed for it because they didn't get approved it before. So that actually worked pretty well in my organization. But with this, I can't tell you what I would change because I'm not that familiar with it as of right now.
So I have to agree that I can't just look at this and decide right here, but I think I would just want to meet with our previous treasurer and go over what worked and what didn't work, and kind of evaluate from there, and also meet with the Senate and talk about it. Really good decision.
Looking at this, I don't think I can make any changes as of now. It would be a preliminary decision. and a very short time. But I would like to say that definitely there's always room for improvement, and surveys would definitely help. And we hope for a good budget and good allocation for next semester for all organizations through SAFC and for SGA.
Does anyone have one? Yes, please.
So I have a question for all of you guys. It's like out of my experience, and I guess most organizations will agree with me. So like when an organization is submitting a budget, a funding request, right? So what happens is like, assume they have some items, say 10 items, and then the budget comes up, say $2,500, okay, but then they end up getting approved only $1,000. And then most parts, the reason, they're not told the reason why it has been reduced so far. So it's like, it's a problem which most organizations face, is like, why haven't we allocated the money which we asked for before? So there's some justification in place. So this scenario for you guys, how do you guys plan on tackling this scenario in the future? Like, do you guys plan on interacting with organizations, or like, what do you want to do with this?
I would tackle this as I would let the student organization's treasurer and the committee know the things that they can be approved for, rather than later telling them that you can't be approved for this. I would like to inform them earlier that these are the things which we can take out money for, and you're allowed to ask the SGA and SAFC money. So that's what I would do.
I'm gonna have to agree with him. I mean, we have to step forward and answer the question up front. You know, what is the real purpose, and why this possibly could not get funded, and give you the all broad outcome first before we actually say, okay, here you go, this is what we're using this for. And I think it's important that if you have an understanding up front on it could not be possibly funded, then maybe down the road we could see what we could do to maybe fund that after the budget has been sorted out. So I think that's important.
I would, like I said before, I would say communication with the organization, letting them know what they can use the funds for and what they cannot use the funds for.
Right. It's my understanding that we do go over that at the general meetings when she read those out loud. So I think if you're feeling like it's not communicated, we could definitely make sure that we have other processes. Maybe we could email you if we ever cut half the budget or something. We can work with that.
The only concern is like, I understand that some budgets are like being denied because they are included late, but that's the only reason which we get so far. I mean, like, we would probably be more interested in like the reason as to the justification of like, why are you cutting short of this much? Is it because you don't have money, or is it because you think this is too much? That kind of miscommunication.
Right. Well, I know SAFC has rules. For example, they can't give money to equipment, and like there's a ton of rules. So they're cutting your money for a reason that is just a rule, and we could tell you that, and then the next time you submit, you could definitely improve.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, if there are rules that needs to be followed, they need to be followed. If you submit an application late, it's automatically you're not getting funded because it was late. But if it's like some other reason, there's definitely a rule for that, why it's denied. And if it's not in the rules, then it should not be denied.
I would like to say that, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to say that I would like to keep if possible, I would like to keep the SAFC document in front of students so that they can have a look of what we allocated and what we are about to give, after letting them know that we can allocate money for these things. So the confusion will be cleared by that.
I'd have to say the same thing. You have to adhere to policies and, you know, the FCFC and whatnot to understand what's going on, and to make sure that you understand for yourself, you know, hey, by the way, we have deadlines to meet. We've got things that have to be in, have to be out, and we can kind of go from there. So I'm going to have to back my others, candidates.
So we've heard all why you guys are the best candidate, but why are you running? Like, why SGA?
I'm running for SGA because of the fact that I like to be involved. I like to get involved in different things to see where it's not just about coming to make yourself known and whatnot and repetition, listen to my rapport, a reputation. It's about getting to understand what your college is about, who the president is, who administration is, who are your students, who are you working for. Basically, you know, you could be employed by your school one day. You know, you never know. What is this going to look like on your resume one day? You know, there's a lot of other factors, but I'm doing it because it's for the students, also for me too. But, you know, it's one step ahead, and I like that. So that's why.
I would just like to say that I think I'm running for this position because we are the students and we are here for the students. That's why I'm running.
So I'm running for this position because, like I said, I'm involved in one organization, but I want to get involved more on this campus. And I feel like SGA is a good way to go because it's a very big organization on this campus and it can change a lot of lives.
Great. Well, one of my favorite things about college is how diverse all of our clubs are. And I think it's SGA's job to make it known what is available to you. And so I would just like to be involved in that, really. And I think Treasure is the place I'm best suited in SGA.
Okay. Finally, no. But I wanted to say, good job so far. I never had to go through this for sure. You guys are going through. But I have a great question for you guys. Now, as SGA treasurer, you don't get a vote. It stinks. So, but you present the budget to the Senate for them to vote on it. You present ideas to SAFC for them to vote on it. How do you plan to be an influential person, and how will you make these decisions that you will communicate effectively with the committee and with the Senate? It's a lot about presenting your ideas to them in a way where you show them that it's what is the best idea.
Well, first off, you got to get to know who your students are. I mean, not only as you as a student itself, but you actually have to go out there and say, hi, how you doing? And say, hey, I like your shirt for the day, or I like your shoes, or, hey, you smell good, however you want to say that. I think it's important to understand who your student body is. It's important how to present yourself, and it's also important how to not really sway a decision, but more persuade them. What are going to give them the benefits, not the cons of everything, but how is it going to be used effectively into the school itself, and how can that perform for you and our team and Student Government Association?
I would like to answer the question by saying that I would like to take the vote of senators because they represent the school a lot. Although treasurers don't get a vote, but they get help from senators who help them manage the budget. So I would say that I would like to keep it open to each and everyone who wants to take a poll and unbiased decision towards the money. And we are here to help you, and we are here for new decisions.
So when you're presenting something to them, you have to make sure you tell them why is it going to benefit them, but also you have to tell them both sides, the pros and the cons. You cannot just tell them, oh, it's good, just vote for it. You have to actually tell them both sides of the story.
I'm going to have to agree with the other candidates that I would definitely tell them the pros and the cons and how it would benefit them. But then I also would like to say that I am not here to make decisions. I am here to help represent your decisions. And so if everyone really truly disagrees with what I have to say, then I'm not going to force people to think that. But I will make it known how it will benefit the campus.
Okay, wait. So I have a question. I don't know which one said that, or maybe all of you. I remember one of you saying that you plan to make the first few points and stuff easier. What do you mean by easy? Do you plan to, what are your plans to make it easier for the students to request funds and stuff?
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it easier. I meant to make everyone understand better what the process is. Maybe have a PowerPoint or just a list of steps online that everyone can see, and also be here for you. Everyone can have my email, and you guys can email me questions, and I'll give you the steps. Because I know sometimes there actually is a process, but sometimes it seems like it's just you have no idea. So I just wanted to make the process seem easier.
Well, that's the treasurer, so give him a round of applause. We also have numerous people running for the 20 senator positions. I know that some of them are here today, so if you are running for a senator position, could you please stand up? I'm going this way, and all going to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn Kenneth. I'm currently a freshman
Hout. I am a sophomore in applied behavior analysis psychology. I am from Melbourne, Florida, so not far from home.
Okay, my name is Samara Neufeld. I'm from Canada, so a little far away. I'm a freshman in marine biology and also a proud member of Alpha Phi.
Hi everyone, I'm Abdullah Kurdi. I'm a junior in chemical engineering and I'm also running for Senate.
My name is Gary Wong. I'm a sophomore in aerospace engineering and running for the senator.
Go ahead.
My name is Kulu Chaher. I am a junior. My major is information systems. The president of the International Students Organization and the public relations manager at Delta Mu Delta Honor Society.
Hey everybody, my name is Bobby, but don't look for that name on the ballot. It's going to be Robert Rogolski. Remember that? I want you to vote. You're doing yourself a favor if you vote for me. I'm passionate about being a Panther, and I want everybody to have a better time being a Panther. And I can help that by being re-elected as a senator. No one else really said anything, but I'm not going to keep going on why you should. Just do it. I'm currently a freshman in mechanical engineering. So yeah, I'll shut up.
I'm Philip Reynolds. I've been a senator for those past 2 semesters. I'm a sophomore in biomedical engineering. As my understanding is, you get 3 choices for senator. Most of you probably already had the first and second choice, but if you need a strong third choice, you know, someone who's going to show up, someone who really cares about what the students say and what they feel, someone to really, just relay all that information to the SGA and let them know what your concerns are on that choice.
So I'm Casey Doran. I'm a junior, will be senior by then, studying software engineering. I'm running for Senate. I'm from Rhode Island, Florida. I'm already in the Senate. So if you like that, I'll vote for me. Everyone else said to vote for them. I'm going to stop now because they're just doing what you want.
And I'm Shelby. I'm running for Senate. I'm also your student government secretary right now. With House and for student government work. And I love you guys, so vote for me as well.
Thank you all for coming. Voting opens on Monday at 8 a.m., so I expect all of you to log on to OrgSync and vote.
Well, it's going to be on sja.fit.edu, so that's where you're going to go and vote. So sja.fit.edu. Oh, and if you want attendance, you should not leave right now. Because Shelby has to present the PowerPoint, and you know how it works. But it won't take more than 1 minute. You have 1 minute.
Well, thank you everyone for coming, even though it was mandatory for some of you. Thanks to Rebecca for keeping time. So thank you all again.
Thank you, everybody.